Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to buy it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Rolex Datejust 31 ladies mid-size watch on stainless steel with a white gold fluted bezel and a silver index dial. I'm going to talk to you, reference 278274. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Datejust history and where it lines up with the rest of the watches in his collection, then talk about the bezel dial case bracelet movement, try it on, and give you my final thoughts. So let's start. The Datejust is Rolex's most iconic line. It's been out for the longest time, and it's the most recognizable Rolex watch that Rolex makes. They make the Datejust in several different sizes. They make it in size 28, 31, and 36 millimeter for women. That comes out to small, medium, large. They also make it in size large or medium and large, which is 36 and 41 for men. Now, this watch here you see is a Datejust 31, so that's the mid-size. It's the most common size that women are wearing. It used to be that the small size was the most popular, but that soon changed because the small size was really just too difficult to read, and most women opted for a larger 31. I'm going to get into, when I talk about the bracelet, what sizes could fit for what wrist size. But at any rate, the Datejust 31 is the most commonly sold and most common watch for women, and it has many different variations. They make it in steel, steel and white gold, steel and yellow gold, steel and rose gold. They make it in rose gold, yellow gold, white gold, everything. Like almost every combination. I think there's like 500 different combinations or something like that, with different bezels, bracelets, dials, you name it, materials. So it's a very in-depth line that Rolex has put a lot of effort, time into. And so this is one of the variations of the 500 variations that they have. Okay, so let's go. Now I talked to you about where it stands in the rest of it with its collection. Now let's talk about the case. The case is 31 millimeters. That's from my thumb to my index finger, the longest distance across the bezel. And as I told you, it is the mid-size. Now let me turn it on its side. You see it's approximately 11 millimeters. That's the profile. That's the thickness. Now to give you some reference, it's I consider the Datejust Rolex as a standard of where a lady's watch should be. Why? Because Rolex probably is, not probably, they are the #1 watchmaker, at least in terms of volume, and not volume, in terms of sales. They do more than any other company. And so therefore, their ladies' watches are the standard by which other watch companies are measured. So 11 millimeters is a perfect profile. Not too thick, not too thin. All right. All right. Now, the case itself is made out of stainless steel, and it's very strong, very robust. Now let's move on to the bezel here. The bezel is the part that's actually white gold. So there's no other part on this watch that is gold except for the bezel, which actually makes this watch steel and white gold. The steel part of it is the case and the bracelet. The white gold part of it is the bezel. Now the bezel is a fluted bezel. It's the most iconic part of the watch. It's what makes the watch look like a Rolex. Well, there's actually many things that make it look like a Rolex, but it's the most signature of the Rolex. And Rolex even calls it a Rolex signature on their website because it is the most iconic and most recognizable part of the Rolex. Now, it used to have a lot of functions, such as screwing on the crystal to the case and allowing the watch to keep waterproof. They no longer have to do that, and now it serves an aesthetic purpose, a very beautiful aesthetic purpose, as you can obviously see here. Okay, and it's made of white gold. All right, now let's move on to the dial. Now this dial is silver. It has a sunray finish. They do that by doing a brushing technique that creates grooves running outward from the center toward the periphery, and then light is diffused as you look at it in different light, and they take this. That's what gives it this sunray finish. That's what's called the sunray finish. And then the dial color is applied using a physical vapor deposition or electroplating to give it its final look. at any rate, it makes it very beautiful. And if you look at the hour markers, these hour markers are index. They're luminescent. That means you can see this watch at night, which makes it also very practical, because the other version of it, which is Roman numerals, is not very practical because you can't read the watch at night. It looks a little bit more elegant in my opinion, but it's not as practical. So that's the trade-off. I personally like the index because I think a watch needs to be not only beautiful, it also needs to be practical, and index achieves that. And I believe also, since we're talking about the dial, that silver dial is a really good dial. Why? There's many different dials. They make some funky dials. I don't love the funky dials because they're difficult to wear against something else. A silver dial, you literally can wear with like any kind of clothing, you know, and a lot of times you might be wearing light, dark, whatever, and gray is a neutral color. So I really like it for that reason. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the bracelet. The bracelet is a Jubilee bracelet. It's 5-piece links across. Rolex makes them in Oyster or Jubilee. And the thing is, the only small, okay, the buckle here is a folding oyster clasp, concealed folding crown clasp. And it makes the bracelet look so that you cannot see the buckle when you fold it over. The only issue with it looks great. The only issue is that there is no 5mm comfort extension, meaning you cannot extend the bracelet without using tools. That's the only kind of downside to it. But that's not really that big of a deal for women. And I told you I was going to tell you about what size I think this would fit. I believe women with a wrist size between 6 and 7 inches should wear a 31. If you have a smaller wrist than that, you should go with a 28. If you have a larger wrist than that, you should go with a 36. Now, those are just my guidelines from having sold thousands of these watches, just what I've noticed. Of course, you can do as you please, but that's what I've noticed. So, and most women do fall between that 6 and 7 inches. What does that come out to height and weight wise? Weight wise, probably between 105 pounds to like 135 pounds would be a medium sized woman. Anything larger than that probably should be wearing a 36. Anything smaller than that, 28. Okay, that's the bracelet. Now let's talk about the movement. The movement is a 2236. It is upgraded from the previous version, which I believe was a 2235. You can't see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Okay, let's try this watch on. Now, I'm obviously a man. If you're watching this, you're buying this for a woman, or you are a woman, and it's going to look much better on you than it is me. I have a wrist size of 7.5 inches, and you can see it looks small on me, which is why I recommended it for a 7-inch wrist or smaller. And even 7-inch, I think, is kind of pushing it. I would even comfortably say like maybe 5.5 to 6.5. But I'm trying to give a range here. So anyways, my thoughts are, I think that Datejust is a fantastic watch, and it's iconic. It's well priced. It's can be daily worn, can be worn in with a dress. It can be worn in so many situations that I just think it's a fantastic watch. And I think that in stainless steel, it really makes it very robust. So if you want to buy this watch at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.